You're listening to a Destiny Park Media podcast.
Goofy ending music now is like stuck in my head.
Na 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 na.
Just instrumental.
Na 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 na. Yeah, it's true. It's true. That's probably, if we were to rank all the Ippo ending and openings, that would be my least good.
Yeah, there's not much to it.
La, 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 la. But the problem is that Netflix stops it after the first 5 seconds.
Right.
So how would I know?
Yeah, exactly. You know,
to quote the great Whitney Houston. Is that her song?
Yes.
Okay, good.
Yes. I almost just broke that out just now.
Go ahead.
I had to pull back.
Go ahead. We're not recording. We are.
Had to pull back my Whitney. Those who heard.
Yeah, it's just a little out of my range.
Yeah. I pride myself on my falsettos and higher tone range.
Speaking of your blowing, how's the sax going?
The sax, man.
On the sax, man.
Woo. No, it's I haven't been on it as often as I would like. I've been really dialed in on acquiring new employment. Mm-hmm. That's kind of where most of my focus and energy has gone to. So I haven't really been playing much. I did learn like a new little tune a few weeks back or whatever, and that was really fun to learn and was able to pick it up pretty quickly, but I haven't been as consistent as I would like to be. I think once I get over this hurdle, as weird as it is, because once I actually acquire the new thing, like I'll be working doing that, but it'll also relieve a bunch of stuff that's like holding me back. Like from an energy level and an enthusiasm level and just like an overall general aura or whatever. Mm-hmm.
Aura.
Yeah. Absolute aura. Very Miyata. Yeah.
The kids, they love that term. But.
Oh, yeah. No, I'm trying to incorporate all the kid slang in my lingo.
Well, or your daughter won't respect you.
Yeah, exactly. No, she's not old enough to understand the lingo yet.
Oh, okay. So you're teaching her. Oh, this is confusing.
I don't know if I'm going to teach her it. I mean, she's going to hear it from the kid. Yo.
Plus 501 points.
No, she said, now that you reminded me, she said something. She said, what was one of the words? Oh, she said, she said that's sus.
Oh, no.
And I was like, what?
Sus.
I was like, what did you say? She's like, that's sus. I'm like, sus. I was like, what? You mean like what? I wasn't like, I didn't connect it. I was like, wait, are you saying sus? She's like, yeah. I was like, oh. I was like, I'm thinking about it, where'd you hear that?
Yeah, I'm sure.
The video.
The video.
Yeah.
In YouTube poops, they like to say sauce.
Oh, that's like sauce?
S-O-S. Sauce?
Oh, that's it.
Yeah. Have you ever watched YouTube poops?
Mm-mm.
Okay. YouTube poops are phenomenal. It's a really niche sub-genre of YouTube edits where they'll take, let's say, an old TV show like All in the Family.
Oh, sure.
Or what was the show with Urkel? Is that
Family Matters?
Family Matters.
Yeah.
But they'll just take a random source and do sentence manipulation or like add weird vocal effects.
Okay, I've seen things like this.
Little edits, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And but for whatever reason, the one that always kills me is sauce. Sauce? Well, they don't say that's sauce. They just say the word sauce.
Oh, this is sauce?
Yeah, sauce. Yeah. It's like if the guy was about to say soft, they'll do saw and then like reverse the audio so it's sauce.
It's just doing this weird audio manipulation. Yeah.
Tough to explain.
Yeah. It must be seen.
Be seen and heard to be believed.
There you go. Absolutely.
Well, I hope you get a bite soon. I know you've been casting your line out for quite a while.
Yep. It's been out there for a while. I have 2 fish that are pretending like my bait isn't on the hook, that it's not ready for it.
Playing hard to get.
But, the patience, you can break my patience.
That's true. You're the most patient man.
Yeah, definitely traditionally patient man. Traditional man.
You added a word there, and I love it. It makes you a little less intimidating.
That's true.
Traditional man is that's been something that's scared away all of our listeners.
I know. I do it out of,
all
jest.
of our potential listeners.
I don't really like to listen to it because he says
I can just imagine this young kid going, I love Don to Don, let's check this show out. And then they hear us talking about being traditional.
I'm a traditional man.
They just go, well, I'm out of here.
I'm out.
Off to the Aura farm.
But then they listen to the next episode and they hear about Mike Woke. So, what is it? Which one is it?
Yeah. We're sending mixed messages. We are, because 1 minute, dude, there was a gag in the last week's episode where I genuinely... I got worried about it.
I'm trying to...
I won't even... I don't want to bring it up on here because then I'll have to edit it out of this one.
Fair.
So one of my worst recurring gags is I will say, I'll be talking about someone who I've made it clear that I think they're a bad person.
Oh, sure.
Really bad person. Usually a man.
Yeah.
And I'll say, no, but he's a good guy. And my concern is having that audio out there forever.
Right. No, he said he was a good guy.
Yeah, they'll cut out the part where I say, this is a bad man.
This is the problem with the internet.
Yeah, but it's also my problem where I'm that worried about it. But
come see, come saw, right?
Come one call.
Come on.
That's right. And by the way, I feel like I came off like an asshole when I said, you've been casting the line out for quite a while.
No, it's true.
But I felt like I sounded like a...
Oh, no. You were kind of like...
I was trying.
Yeah, you were giving more tips into why this is like a thing or a big deal or whatever the case. I haven't mentioned it too often, but it was something I mentioned probably on our 2024 year end.
Well, what's funny is yesterday I drove to Como Zoo, which is kind of a long drive, especially in traffic.
Yeah,
and it
is.
You know what I put on? I've become this crazy guy who listens to his own pod.
You're listening to your own podcast?
I was listening to my own podcast. I put on the 2024 end of the year best of.
Fun. And
it was... I was cracking up.
So funny.
I was smiling from ear to ear for most of it, and then laughing, genuinely laughing. And I solved the mystery.
Yes.
There was one part where we got to an item on your list, and you said, "Oh, this is a good one."
Yeah, it's a good one. Yeah.
Do you know what the subject was for that one? Hajime No Ippo.
Oh, it was?
Yeah, and so it's so cool to hear this audio of me before I've watched the show even.
Yeah.
And you're trying to explain to me why it's so great. And I'm just laughing about the fact that you said, this is a good one.
You're dying.
But I can hear the seeds of what you said that got me to actually watch it.
Which was
you were talking about how they used real techniques and brought up real boxers and
that really piqued my interest.
And how you were gonna do boxing style training. You weren't gonna be a fighter.
Yeah, still want to, still will.
Okay.
Yeah, still want to, still will.
And
for sure.
In the audio, you actually say maybe not this year, but next year. So you're still doing that patient.
Yep.
This guy's got a plan.
Yeah, man.
People don't realize he's got a plan.
Yeah, you gotta have the vision, and then you have to, put it in motion.
Yeah.
And you gotta wait for it to hit. You do all the upfront work, and then you wait for it to hit.
You do the work, and it'll hit.
And it'll hit.
But don't do nothing and wait for it to hit.
Because there's a trick. Yeah, people would think, well, you put the idea out there, and then all of a sudden it will just come.
I'm wish casting.
No. Idea out. Traction. Wait for the bite. You know what I'm saying? So.
Sort of the dragonfish bite.
Absolutely, exactly. The old man in Takamo just waiting for the fish.
Oh, yeah, that seems great.
Yeah.
Well, so we talked a little bit last week, this is off the pod, about potentially doing an Ippo extravaganza.
Yes, the Ippo retrospective.
Yeah, which we could talk about the Ippo films / TV specials.
Yep.
And we can talk about new Challenger. And then close out with a discussion on Rising.
Yeah.
I fear this could be a multi-parter.
Yeah, I could see that.
And because I don't want to give anything its short shrift.
Yeah. We'll see kind of where we land with kind of some of the stuff that we're talking about. And obviously we could... I think, we just finished watching rewatching some little ending, or the ending of Rising. Mm-hmm. Just kind of, for me to get back in the headspace and refocus. I think we should start by talking about our overall thoughts of Hajime no Ippo.
Just like the fighting, or the whole.
Yeah, as a show, how it sits in the pantheon of shows that we've seen and witnessed. Because obviously we haven't seen everything that's out there, because it's impossible to.
I have.
That's true.
No, I'm just kidding.
You are grinding out there.
I'm actually terrible. Not just with the anime, but with horror movies. Like, I have all these blind spots.
Yo, I'm a huge horror movie guy, but I missed a bunch of shit. Like,
the horror fans also, whenever you talk to a horror fan, the first thing they'll ask you is, have you seen this? And it'll be something you've never seen in your life.
You always missed it.
Either you've never heard of it, or you're like, that's the one in that genre
that I did not see.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, if I'm saying I love slashers, they'll say, have you seen Leatherface? What's his movie? Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Thank you.
They'll say, have you seen that? I'll go, I'm going to see it. And they go, you are out.
You are horrible.
You must go now.
Yeah.
And I'm in their house, so I have to leave.
I mean, whether it was the old Texas Chainsaw or the new one, I mean, maybe blasphemy to say. I mean, I've seen. Anyway, that's a whole side tangent. But I've seen the new one, and I have seen the old one, but I haven't seen the old one that many times.
Isn't it weird that once enough time has passed since you've seen a movie, it's like you've never seen it?
Yeah.
I hate that feeling.
Yeah.
That makes me feel so old.
Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of that. And it does happen semi-frequently, so... but, it is what it is. I guess there's a beauty to kind of rediscovering why you liked something. Okay. Or remembering why you didn't.
yeah, true. Okay, but back to, hey guys, what about me?
What about me?
I forgot how English Ippo sounds.
Yeah, he's cute.
Let me think. How would he say that? Guys, I really think you should talk. No, I can't do it anymore.
Yeah, a little Ippo.
Japanese.
I was going to say, yeah, I know that. Since the last 2 seasons of Ippo have gone on, my ears kind of blocked into the actual sub, or basically the actor.
You've converted from W to subby.
Yeah, so it's cute sometimes, to hear the English version's voice again. I'm like, oh, that's fun. Yeah,
when I'm watching compilations of funny moments from Ippo, it'll usually be the dub.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay, so you had wanted to talk about overall thoughts on Ippo.
Yeah, and I think while we're doing that, we'll probably end up inserting some of the stuff that we've seen and why, and that might help us.
Yeah.
And if not, we can also go through and just kind of talk about some of the TV movies that we saw leading up to, I think, going into
New Challenger
into Rising. But
okay,
yeah.
I would only ask that before we go into any stuff from New Challenger and Rising. Mm-hmm. We give a spoiler warning.
Yeah,
because there's people listening who are fans of our podcast who are not on New Challenger or Rising yet.
Got it.
Want to be careful.
Yeah, so we'll put a flag out there. And we'll start now, though. I think overall thoughts is okay to kind of talk about it.
Takamura
about.
Oh, yeah. Well,
Takamura about.
First of all, talk about me. One of my favorite things is to just blurt out a dub Takamura style bravado line.
Yeah, he was a fun voice actor. There's a handful of English voice actors in the show that just do a great job. So
my overall thoughts on Hajime no Ippo. Do you want to? I think I asked this already, but do you want me to focus on the first 76 episodes or?
Yeah, I guess we could stay in that because we never actually talked about.
Well, I did. This is why us being on separate training journeys led to some confusion. But Jallah just did a fighting stance. But so I had mentioned that I had finished the show, and it's Hajime no Ippo changed my life in a very positive way. And honestly, I've had a hard time figuring out my next moves as a anime watcher after finishing the fighting, which is the first 76 episodes of the show came out in 2000.
Yeah.
And I think overall it is a tremendous piece of work. The crazy thing about it is like a lot of the animation like looks modern, and you develop this standard of quality for it that it meets consistently, like during nearly its entire runtime. It's crazy.
Yeah.
To the point where once these 2 modern seasons came out, like they actually aged worse than the show from 25 years ago.
Yeah, because there's like a weird thing where animation kind of had a certain aesthetic that was like popular in like the mid 2000s.
Yeah,
and maybe in like mid 2000s. I would definitely say mid 2000s. They had this certain sheen to it. It had certain line drawings. Yeah, and that for me has never been my favorite look. I always was a fan of the more vintage, thinner lined, detail oriented, kind of sketch looking, manga looking, definition style animation.
And showing actual movement and fluidity.
Yeah, exactly.
Whereas, so when New Challenger came out in 2009, I actually looked at, there are some forums that are still up from around that time.
Oh, sure.
And one of the cool things about being able to capture history is when people talk about that show now, they say certain things we'll get into. But the overall consensus from that time period was every post I saw was, wow, the animation is so much better than the old show.
Yeah.
Not the artwork, the animation. You know, like they're basically implying that the whole show is much better.
Yeah,
it's crazy to see because it was more, quote, modern.
Right, and this is what I'm saying. Like if you were in that time period when it came out, it like updated and fit with the stuff that was out.
But that's why trend chasing is so frustrating, because when you chase a trend, eventually you get left behind by the new trend.
Yep,
and then you've become outdated.
You're right, and then there's not a timelessness to it.
Yeah, and meanwhile, the 2000 show, it is timeless.
Yep.
And not just that, it gets to movie anime level many times.
Yeah, for sure.
And they only had to sacrifice 1 episode for it. Which, I don't know if I told you this, but episode 61, the famous episode where the whole show just kind of breaks in front of us, and it's like they put a storyboard on the screen.
Yeah, literally. Yeah,
literally. Yeah. It's horrible. They actually, when it came out on home video in Japan, they updated that episode.
Oh, really?
They patched it, bro.
That's amazing.
That's
amazing. And
they
hot fixed it.
I want to be 100%, like, you know me, I don't like to oversell this stuff. It's like a new episode of Ippo.
Where did you see it? Is it online?
It's online. It's just subs. For whatever reason, the dub, when they put out the dub was renamed to Fighting Spirit.
Yeah.
They put it out and they used the old broadcast version on accident.
Damn, man. And then we got that shit.
We got that. And so not only did we have to hear Aoki's strange dub voice and all the strange dubbings, but then it looked terrible.
That sucks. But I'm glad they fixed it.
It's a must watch because that episode, when you watch the broadcast version, it feels like filler. Like this is
filler.
Cringe. It's filler and cringe.
Yeah.
But when I watched the reanimated episode, and they went pretty much, I saw like 1 shot from the old episode that they kept.
Sure.
It's not filler. It is
awesome.
Literally like important stuff happens. Like it's the genesis of Ippo developing the
Dempsey role. And
it literally, the episode ends with him almost figuring it out. But for some reason, like we acknowledged that reality.
Yeah.
But then it still just didn't land because it looked like caveman
stick
drawings.
Figures like walking up a hill, like
and then the chief's floating chair or whatever. I don't know. It was so strange.
Yeah, it was bad. It was definitely very storyboard, but
to speak more generally again, I think that the fact that George Morikawa, he was deeply involved with the production of the first season.
Yeah,
and he got the second episode back from them, and he had like an temperamental artist fit about it.
The second episode.
Yeah, because they were adapting the story wrong in his eyes. Like they changed some stuff in the second episode.
Really?
And one of his things that he told him was, we can't do the show if you don't adapt it well, because he loved his fans and felt like he owed a great adaptation to them that was like accurate to the source material.
I respect that.
I respect it, but I respect it.
Yeah.
At that point, the manga had been running for more than 10 years.
Wow.
So think about that. So he felt a lot of responsibility.
Yeah.
And
that's great, though, to have that vision.
They knew he meant business.
Yeah.
And so that's why that whole series feels like, and not just accurate to the manga, but sometimes it's even better than the manga, from what I've heard.
Oh, that's cool. That's really cool.
Because if you have the original creator on board and you get like approval for, and eventually he did stop like holding their hand so aggressively because he started to trust them.
Sure. Yeah.
And then I think, but anyway, so I would say that the Hajime no Ippo, the fighting, is one of my top 5 favorite animes of all time. It's something that I'd potentially get like posters for, or like maybe a tattoo or something. I don't know.
Yeah, because it really. And I have to agree with that sentiment. It's like when you were younger and when you discovered Dragon Ball and you discovered things that like really stood out to you. Like for me, like Cowboy Bebop was like so huge to me, and like huge. Everything I wanted like, I would have like, wallpapers and stuff like that, and anything that was like imagery, I would try to like involved Bebop in it, or try like, so like this show kind of for me falls into that like obsession. Like I love like almost everything that comes out of this. It's incredible. I think even for the time period that it was made, it does a lot of really, what I really love about the show is that it does a lot of things that other shows weren't doing. So I wonder sometimes like where that, maybe just, the creator in his mind and wanting it to do it his way came out of that. But, like we talked about before with the show, not just focusing on one character. There's so much anime that's out there where it's so focused on the main guy, and the show can't move without the main guy. It doesn't have legs without the main guy. It has no soul without the main guy. And this show's not really like that at all, really.
Right. Yeah.
Like if you think about it, like I think at first when you're watching Ippo, during the fighting era, and it is Ippo focused. During that first season series, you do get glimpses of some of the other characters and how they relate to Ippo and like that, But then as we move forward, you get the show opens up like dramatically, and you get stories from all these people that we now know as like a family, a boxing gym family or whatever the case, and. It's the show is not scared. That's the thing that's cool about this show. Like if you really think about it, like if it was like a being, it's just not scared to go places. Yeah,
it doesn't explain itself. Which one of the worst things when you're watching an anime or when you're like doing anything creative is when people feel the need to explain themselves.
Yeah, absolutely. You just kind of like. Yeah, a lot of shows try to explain what's going on. Like, this is why we're doing this. It's like,
and it is a momentum killer.
Yes, yeah.
And Ippo never does that.
No.
1 minute, like, even in the original series, I know they didn't focus on the other guys as much, but they randomly would do a 2-episode arc with Miyata in the Philippines.
Right.
Out of nowhere. They don't have like an intro where Ippo is like, I wonder how Miyata's doing. Like,
Thank you.
They just trust the audience to go, oh, it's Miyata-san.
Like, literally nothing about Ippo. Like, it's just Miyata. Like, this is Miyata's episode. They don't even couch it like that, by the way. It's just like...
I know, that's what I'm saying. Like Scrubs... Scrubs, you remember that show? They had... Every episode was narrated by JD, except for episodes where it would switch to another member of the cast.
Sure.
But they'd have the episode intro... be narrated by JD, then he'd bump into someone or he'd say, I wonder what's going on with other people in the hospital today. And it's like, I get why they did that, to try to be neat and tidy and go,
right.
Hey, this starts out like a normal episode, but whoa,
we're going to pivot.
Yeah, and that's more of a sitcom writing thing than anything else.
Right.
But for Ippo, it's just 1 minute. An episode is about Ippo, then you hit, the end credits start, and the next episode begins, and it's about Takamura.
Yeah.
And by the way, I think I brought up this phenomenon, but I would almost be more excited when a side character episode was starting. Whereas, like, when you're watching Dragon Ball, if they did an episode about Krillin, you might go, oh, man.
Yeah, he's grown.
Well, Goku.
By the way, you love the characters, but, again, they didn't establish that cadence. And so when they do it, it's apologizing while they're doing it. It's involving the main guy, like, in
they talk
ways.
about the main guy all the time.
Yeah.
that's okay. That is the momentum killer, is when they do something about a side character and they spend the whole time talking about the main guy.
Right.
Oh, that's frustrating.
Goku's just in there, like, in the time chamber.
And you said Goku's in the time chamber? Yeah. Okay.
I wonder when he's coming out.
And he's coming out a day lasts a year in there, right?
Yeah, and then it's like a shot of him like just floating in water.
We should rewrite Dragon Ball and just have dialogue like that.
Just a very bro.
People just keep. I think the worst type of storytelling is like either people having dialogue where they're just confirming stuff, or they're saying, as you know, ...
Yeah, as you know.
As you know, that's the worst type of exposition. But my least favorite type of storytelling is basically when you're watching it, it's like you're getting the elevator pitch, but the full production version of the elevator pitch.
Yeah.
Where I call it and then style writing.
And then.
Where things literally just happen, but there's no emotion.
There's nothing there.
There's nothing there. There's just people explaining lore.
Yeah. Yeah, lore that will not necessarily interested in. No, thank you. It will not pay off.
It will not pay off. We're not interested in it, and it's like they're reading a promotional Bible, as it were. And Ippo is not like that. Ippo is all about heart, the human spirit. And honestly, I think the reason why it means so much to me is just because I'm a person who's very prone to like giving up.
Sure.
In my life, and I've done it many times. I almost sound cocky about it. I've done it many times.
I love to throw in the towel.
But the stuff that these characters go up against in the ring and outside of the ring, they literally reach the wall that is their current
ceiling, basically.
Ceiling, yeah. And then they just go, I can't give up. Don't pass out. No. And just like keep fighting. And I started to do that in my own life. And go like, when I reached that feeling of I can't do this anymore, I can't do this, I then just like would feel this surge of like, I can do this. Just,
fight through it.
Yeah. No, I mean, I don't know if I've mentioned this on the pod, but like during my last show, or during my last recording sessions, I would think about like key Ippo scenes.
In your mind.
In my mind, yeah. Like that's how obsessed. It does feel like a sort of a renaissance for our childhood, you know.
This is what I'm saying.
Like, and I'm glad you brought that up. Like, where it's like, it is something where I'm like, I'm not like 24/7 obsessed with it.
No.
But I am, it is like something that brings me joy every day, I think, since I started watching it.
Yeah, it's just great.
And inspires me. So like when I was on stage and nobody showed up for my concert except for, and that sounds ungrateful, but I'll keep it in. But my producer and friend, Eric, right now he's producer first just because he's producing the album.
Yes.
It'll be friend first after
Professional.
Yeah, I'm very professional.
Gotcha.
But he showed up, and I appreciate him showing up, and I talked to him afterward. But I didn't have any, like, you know, fans or
I wish I made it out to that show too.
Oh, and this was my plan, was to guilt trip you on the pod for it.
No, it's true. But no,
I was actually very self-destructive leading up to that show.
How so?
I was actually telling people not to come.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. So I reaped what I sowed.
I reaped.
And so I go, wow, nobody showed up. What the hell?
What does that sound like?
It was a mix of Urkel and Sonic, who is voiced by Urkel. So
I forgot. Jaleel White.
I'm sorry, and I get his name. I remember his name outside of the pod. It's like how I spread misinformation once the microphone's on.
I actually enjoy misinformation.
I don't like calling him Sonic or Urkel. I shouldn't just remember his name.
He's used to that shit, but yes,
but I know. I think it's because I know that it makes him mad that I said that.
you're like, this is gonna piss him off.
Jaleel's just listening to this episode right now. Wow, this Ippo sounds pretty great. Check it out. Hey, wait, did they just say Urkel?
Sonic? What?
They're not talking about me, right? This guy's self-destructive.
Oh my god, so unfortunate.
So I didn't tell everybody don't come, but I'm like,
but you had the energy of
I was like, it's just me and a guitar. If you don't make it, I have a show in August that you should come see because it's going to be full band. And
you know what? Maybe that's the show I was thinking of.
Yeah, I think. See, the fact that I told people this one's acoustic, next one's full band. Maybe
that's what it was.
I gave them the. It's like I said. This one is Aoki versus some jobber. The next one is Takamura versus Brian Hawk.
But bro, they don't get the look away. They don't get the look away.
Look away. I don't think they say look away in.
They should. It'd be fine.
But it's still the best scene.
Yeah, it's great.
But that's a spoiler.
A little bit of a spoiler, but nobody knows what that means.
Nobody knows what that means. It could be anything.
Yeah, look away could be anything.
But no, so when I was on stage and I was like you could, let's say I know Japanese.
Sure.
It's the most dramatic way of saying nobody showed up.
Mm-hmm.
I wish I knew Japanese.
Yeah, I know a little bit.
I think I would say it in such a anime way that it would feel kind of goofy.
Not to an American person who doesn't understand, but yeah.
There was a musician I followed who was learning Japanese,
mm-hmm.
and he would say the Japanese and sound like a schoolgirl when he said it.
He's so trained in that tone
yes.
of speak.
And he would do the victory sign.
Yeah.
It was that's what I'm thinking of.
Yeah, he's trained in cutesy girl.
He grew out of it. He grew out.
Oh, he did? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. They all do.
It was I think he probably saw the videos or listened to him and went, oh
shit.
Oh, wait a second.
I'm
turning myself on.
Yeah. I've gone too far.
Yeah, exactly. I've gone too far. But so I think one of my biggest fears is playing a show to nobody,
Really?
Yeah. And for the first song, Eric wasn't there.
Oh, sure.
So I was just God damn this. And I was
playing to no one.
I was feeling so shitty.
Yeah.
It was storming. So, and it was a Monday. So there's all sorts of reasons why that's not my fault. And
sure.
The other acts had difficult times
sets
as well.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But we got through it, and
good.
people came in after the first song, actually.
Nice. But
then I started going, you know what? I'm going to play this show as if I'm playing to 10,000 people.
Mm-hmm.
And then all of a sudden I gave good banter, and
mm-hmm.
I sang better than I've ever sung live before.
Nice.
And I thought of Kimura in his battle in the movie we'll talk about today.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And just the feeling of, being hit in the gut, doubled over, and then you say, no, I can't lose.
I can't lose.
You hear your sister in the crowd say Oni-chan, and then you go, I can't afford to lose.
My life's on the line.
Yeah. So I genuinely just have this highlight reel in my head when I'm feeling like I can't do it, or when I face adversity.
Yeah.
And just it's so weird because in the back of my mind, I know these characters aren't real.
Mm-hmm. It's the spirit of them, though.
And yet they are. They are real to me.
Mm-hmm.
In a way that Son Goku
was.
And his little friends.
Yeah.
I was going to say aren't real, but honestly, those guys are kind of real too, aren't they? In their own way.
Yeah, because there's a family thing with that whole series that.
But Ippo and his compatriots,
mm-hmm.
not only are they my friends, but they are my senpai.
Senpais. They're all my senpais.
If I were at the gym, I would be like Itagaki, which is a character from the next season.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, if I could give brief thoughts on the fighting period, which is what we'll be mostly talking about today.
Yes. We'll get into spoilers.
Spoilers ahead.
Spoiler alert.
If you care about spoilers, run.
Slide.
Oh, that's right. We never said the name of the show, but this episode is where Akira slide comes from. This Hajime No Ippo.
This is exactly where it came from.
because they accidentally called one character Akira. No, I'm just kidding. And they said, slide! The classic, the fighting era doesn't end on episode 76, though.
Right.
There's 2 different TV special / films / OVAs, and I wanted to talk about them. Because one of them is actually my favorite Hajime no Ippo thing ever.
I didn't know that.
You didn't?
I didn't know it was your favorite thing ever from the whole thing.
If I were to rank the fights, number 1 would be in this OVA.
Ooh.
But canonically, the first one is Champion Road.
Yes.
Actually, you know what?
Yeah.
In the manga, the Kimura versus Mashiba fight happens first.
I wonder why they flipped it.
I know. I don't know. I don't know. And also, fans, for some reason, like, there are these videos. This is the most important thing anime fans search for. They go, what order should I watch Hajime no Ippo in?
I did this.
and you have to search for that.
Yeah.
For Ippo fans, they always have to say it this way. They go, first you watch the 76 episodes of Hajime no Ippo. Episode 76 was a bonus episode. You'll have a hard time finding it. It didn't air on TV. And then they go, in the manga, Mashiba versus Kimura happens first, but you should watch Champion Road first in the anime because it came out first.
Yes. And
I didn't know for months why, like, anime fans specify you should watch this first, even though it came first in the manga. Like, to me, that goes, it doesn't matter. They're both interchangeable.
Thank you.
But do you want to know why? I figured it out literally a few days ago while I was, like, trying to sleep.
Okay. The timing of it.
The reason is because in Champion Road, Ippo gets a new tracksuit from... I'm serious. He gets a new tracksuit from Kumi.
Good point.
And he's wearing the new tracksuit in Kimura versus Mashiba. So if you were to watch the show, then jump to Kimura versus Mashiba.
Yep.
He'd be wearing a new outfit.
It's like, what the hell?
What the?
Where did he get this?
What the hell? Yeah. So if a character is wearing a new training jacket, you would be taken out of the scene.
Yeah, you need to know. It needs to be explained why and where.
Yes, this is the exact writing we love. Is we have to have every outfit explained.
I was literally thinking that as we were talking about it. I'm like, this is the only time that they did this, but it was never spoken of.
Yes,
it was never spoken of.
Yeah,
something's deduced.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I think that's why I literally can't think of any other reason why people go, oh, you have to watch Champion Road first.
Yeah.
The one half reason I thought of is that at the end of Champion Road, it ends with Kumi being on a fishing dock with Ippo.
Yep.
And then in the beginning of Kimura versus Mashiba, she says we can't see each other anymore on a fishing dock.
Yes.
But I can't tell if that's supposed to be the same moment. Because it wouldn't make sense if it's the same moment because she spends Champion Road not hanging out with Ippo because they're in kind of a fight.
Sure. So that's hard to time.
Yeah.
But anyway, I think...
Gotta talk to George.
Yeah, definitely. As we've been talking about Ippo, have I talked about not being a big Sendo guy?
I think twice. You've said, I don't know why I'm such a Sendo hater.
Now people just really know that
you don't even think about him.
I don't get it.
Yeah. I'm like a Sendo skeptic.
I don't get it.
I think that I like him as a rival for Ippo, and I like him when they don't have a match coming up.
But I think I like him more when
when he's in a slice of life mode with those guys. Really fun character.
Yeah, better.
Like when they visited Takamura before he fought Brian Hawk.
Yeah.
And he's talking to Miyata. Him and Miyata together are comedy gold.
Yeah, he's cool in that exchange. Yeah. I'm saying in the ring, I don't get it.
Okay. I don't like the smash, the fact that he leans his body back and then it looks like it almost looks as bad as Brian Hawk's.
Yeah. Brian Hawk's really fucking leaning, but.
Yeah. So yeah, you're like a Sendo hater almost.
Yeah.
And I'm a Sendo skeptic, which there are Sendo fans out there.
No, they're definitely out there. I see.
They're little kids mostly. Little kids in Osaka.
Oh, yes, that's right, because he's from Osaka, right? Mm-hmm. Beautiful. Beautiful, the little kids.
The Naniwa tiger.
They do love him.
They love the guy.
I get the charm. It shows up when he's not in the ring. Yeah.
Oh, sorry for interrupting.
No, you're good.
Do you know who he's inspired by?
No, I don't.
This will make you do a flip. He's inspired by Tomorrow's Joe.
Really? Is he really?
Yeah, Ashita no Joe. Yep, they have the same sort of character design where Joe has the jacket and like the striped shirt, I think, maybe, and the hat.
That's so
the hair.
That's right. Yeah, you're so holy.
He's inspired by it. No, it's a fact. Morikawa is like, I want to make a Joe inspired.
That's so sick. I really want to watch that show. But
inspired by Joe. References Rocky.
Yep, he's very Rocky-ish.
What's more? And then he gets mad when people think it's because of the movie.
That's really funny.
Not because of the stupid movie.
Yeah, that's really funny, though. Like I said, I like everything around him except his ring.
Except for me.
Except for me.
You don't like me.
Yeah, exactly.
I think he is... he's someone I'm not in love with, I'm in love with some of these characters.
Yeah.
But I like him. I like what he brings out of Ippo.
I like that.
He makes Ippo worse. And by that I mean more animalistic,
Yeah, it's yeah, he touches that nerve for Ippo, but not in like a pissed off way. It's just more like a butting heads determination. Because him and Miyata don't. That's not the energy. They don't have any of that. Which is
that's kind of what's so weird about it is they will. As far as we know, they won't fight again.
Right. It's like
then the show keeps trying to make it a thing. Where it's like. He looks up to Miyata somehow. I love that everyone I know who's watched the show have been on the same page where as soon as Ippo becomes not just champion of Japan, but like the rookie of the year, we immediately leave Miyata in the dust as like a rival for Ippo. He's a cool character. I love the Philippine arc, the 2 episodes. I think that's some of the best the show ever. People sit on that arc. Like
I understand why they probably did. I think in the midst of watching it, you get it. I think you can get it if you really key into what's going on. I think it's really cool. He has a lot of trials and tribulation during that whole series, that whole saga. And I think that's really cool. Because there's a lot of things in his way. Just like you're too big for this weight class. Like you're too tall for this weight class. Mm-hmm. You're killing yourself to like be at a lower weight. I don't know if this is worth it. You're not strong enough.
Not a strong puncher at all.
Yeah, you're not a strong puncher. It's like so much shit. And
his own dad doesn't believe in him.
Yeah, his dad's like, I don't know.
Son, just go to a different weight class.
Yeah, son. Just go up.
No.
I will be stubborn and say no.
I must fight Ippo.
Yeah, I must fight the young kid.
Bro, I gotta tell you, Ippo's moved on, man.
Yeah, you think that's what his dad should?
Yeah.
Hey, bro.
Hey, he's not thinking about you anymore. No, the truth is he is. That's the scariest part of the show. Is that Ippo somehow has not moved on.
He still views him because they had that fight in the gym in the beginning.
That establishing fight.
Mm-hmm. He sticks with you.
Yeah, it's like I said that when you come up with like a group of people, you always think of them as your rival, or they're as your ally.
Yeah,
so Metallica, if they found out they were on the bill with a band they grew up playing with, and that's a band who only plays like clubs right now, they'd still be like starstruck and like want to go say hi to them.
Right. Remember this crazy guitar lick the guy used to do?
He's way better than me at rhythm guitar.
Yeah, he kills it. It's like, no, not really.
No, dude, you're playing in 20,000, 50,000. Yeah, and then they're playing at the club, but, and obviously being more popular doesn't mean better, but...
Sure, of course.
Legendary status versus, the difference between a champion and a rookie.
Yeah, rookie of the year.
Rookie of the year. Man. But, so Champion Road is a TV film, and I looked it up on Wikipedia, and I guess it aired, like, a few weeks after the season finale aired.
Okay. It feels like that. I'm not going to lie to you.
Okay. For me, I was shocked by that. I'm like when you watch the first 5 minutes of Champion Road, it's just like a recap of the Sendo Part 2 fight.
Right.
And it's beautiful. and it got my hype going. Like, I'm like, this movie's going to be fucking awesome. And I like had this vision of like, God, what if this show gets big enough where this comes back in theaters? And I did imagine you and me going to see it.
That'd be so sick.
And like having a big thing, 2 big things of popcorn. I don't want to share with you.
No.
Some sodas. some soda pops.
Yep.
And just sitting back and just seeing the boys beat each other senseless.
Duke it out.
They're going to duke it out. So that first 5 minutes is peak. And then like when you watch that first 5 minutes, you do memory hole the old fight and it gets replaced by that footage in your head. It's really creepy.
Yeah.
Like I had to I had to A/B it to be like, which one is from the movie and which one is from the
actual show.
The actual show. And the actual show, it looks great too. They didn't need to reanimate it at all.
Yeah,
honestly.
Fluffed it up a little.
Yeah. But it's beautiful. It's beautiful in the film.
Yeah, it's great.
And it's honestly a legendary opening because it shows like Ippo's body, like his muscles and his skeleton, like in this like 3D sort of. It's super cool.
Yeah, it's really,
and it's honestly good writing to lead into the doctor and how he knows the whole body, and
that's really smart, actually.
Yeah. So I have a lot to respect about that movie. The art style in the movie, it's so weird that it happened so soon after the show because it feels like a huge evolution stylistically from the TV show.
Yes, you can tell this is a movie version. So what I meant by I felt that a few weeks after the show is from a story perspective, not the visuals perspective. Okay. Visuals really stood out.
Yeah, because that means that the staff had to be working on like these insanely pivotal episodes plus a movie.
Yep, and had the A-team on the movie.
Well. The OVA came out like a month after the movie, the Mashiba versus Kimura. So this staff was stretched thin.
Yeah.
So episode 61, it makes more sense in retrospect, and it also you go, why weren't there more episodes like that?
Right. The training montage into. Oh, you mean like more bad
episodes? Yeah. So it's like
that's a good point because that's the only one. Yeah,
that's the only one that I saw, and there's like. There were always little scenes where it's like, oh, that looks kind of weird, but you move on pretty...
It's very fast.
Yeah, you move on pretty fast from little scenes, but the show never, melted.
You gotta give that some props, too, man.
Yeah. I feel like the source material must have inspired the people working on it to just do insanely incredible things.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, adding jet engine noises to the Dempsey roll. And then once he starts punching, it becomes laser sounds.
Yeah, it's awesome.
It's crazy.
Yeah, that's great.
So the movie, it shows Ippo becoming the champion, the rookie of the year.
Yep.
Actually, no, I'm sorry. He's Japan's champion in the lightweight division.
Yes.
Rookie of the year is when he beats Mashiba.
Yeah.
Beats him senseless.
Great fight.
And then the movie then shows Ippo celebrating becoming a champion. There's a party that it's like season 1 ended at the party, pretty much.
Yeah.
And so we're continuing right where season 1 left off. With Aoki and Kimura doing karaoke. And that's I gotta tell you, the best parts of the movie are the gag parts. Like where Aoki and Kimura are trying to get Ippo to sing karaoke with them, and then when Ippo says he'll pass, they're like, what? You're declining my invitation? You think you're too good for us as the champion?
Yeah, that was great.
The chaos that ensues once Takamura gets involved in that scene. Oh.
It's really good.
And he's like, how does it feel to be surpassed by your Kyohai?
Just burned him.
And he's like, I wouldn't know. I'm about to become a world champion. He's such a jerk.
Boasting.
Chaos ensues.
Yeah, that's great. It's great, though.
Yeah, and the movie is about Ippo's first title defense.
Yeah.
So it's a good plot for a movie, I would say.
Champion Road.
Yeah, Champion Road. The road of a champion.
Yeah. I'm going to go against, my first defense of the whole thing.
Yeah. And that's about.
So the problem. Well, sorry. I'm going to lead in with some of my thoughts with this movie. I think this movie is solid, but the reason why I think it has some issues is because I feel as though the competitor that he's going against doesn't add that much stakes to the fight.
Yeah.
The character is a doctor who, you know, like we mentioned, knows like about the body parts, and his whole like catch is that, you know, he knows these pressure point areas and like these spots that will like can incapacitate, you know, a fighter, and so like that's his like dangerous like thing. But like as a character, he's like an older man too, I think. Like,
I'm glad you brought that up. I was literally waiting for a chance to tell you this.
Yeah,
this is an example of that dub just completely fucking it up.
Oh sure.
He's not an older man.
So he's in college.
He's in college. He's a young man. But the dub voice is a 40-plus-year-old man, I would say. If I were to guess his age, he sounds so old. And by the way, not to blame the dub too much, his character design makes him look older too.
Yes, and I think
he looks way older than Ippo. Sometimes
I wonder if it's in the eyes of the young person. Because I feel like young people also view people that are only a few years older than them as like dramatically older than them, and they're really not. Do you know that thinking, like where you're like...
No, yeah, there's like the distance between like...
Yes.
An 8th grader and a 10th grader. We would see the 10th grader as like, whoa, this guy's huge.
Yeah, what?
And then like looking back, if we saw a photo of us from that time and that person, it wouldn't look that different.
No.
I remember when I was in like 2nd grade and the 6th graders came to read us stories. And it was like these 6th graders were freaking...
bugged out, right? It's bugged out.
Adults.
Yeah, like, wow, he's just reading me a story.
Bro's reading me a story, probably can drink a beer.
Yeah, and I'm putting my headspace into the 6th grader, and the 6th grader is like literally just left 5th grade. Like, there's no difference, really.
Yeah.
There's no difference between the 5th and the 6th grader.
But a 2nd grader, there's a huge difference between a 2nd grader and a 6th grader.
Oh, yeah. Huge jump.
But from 5th to 6th, but it's starting to be, you know.
Yeah. Getting there.
A-B.
You're not really a middle schooler until you hit 7th grade is the pivotal.
7th grade is the nightmare.
Yeah. This is the hormone change.
Nightmare on
Hormone Street.
There you go. That's fine. I couldn't think. Mine was Puberty Street.
That's probably a little bit better.
No. I think Hormone Street's better. Because the hormones are really what's the...
Yeah, that's the issue with 7th grade is because everything starts to click in and it's really bad.
My life is a nightmare.
I'm not looking forward to it. Not for me, but...
Yeah.
Actually, I don't know from a girl's perspective. I don't know. I don't really know what that's like, actually. I know they have a similar thing, but...
I don't know either.
Yeah. I know from a man's perspective.
Well, it's a man's world.
Yeah. Or a James.
Hey. No. The Christina Aguilera...
Yes, that's the one.
...version is better.
Yeah.
Sorry, James.
Yes,
that's him from heaven. No, but all kidding aside...
yeah, the old man that Ippo's fighting.
The father of 5.
Yes, he really is.
He sounds like it.
He really does.
So yeah, he's like, I know how to hit someone right in the chin so that they'll get knocked out. Yep. Probably.
Yeah, it's like a little. It's a pressure point, basically.
Well, this man. I almost said young man. We're getting the ages all wrong.
This young man,
this very old man, with a giant beard, comes into town. Mm-hmm. His name is Don Kichi, and he's from Jin or Kamigawa's past. And I think Gen, actually, not Jen.
I can't remember how they said it, actually, but yeah. Gen.
And they used to fight. And he had a glass jaw.
That's true.
And Kamigawa defeated him twice. He knocked him out twice. So there's a little bit of a grudge between these two old men.
Yep.
And they're having their students or their torch bearers.
Yeah.
Is that fair to say?
Yeah.
They're letting the rivalry burn on in these new young fighters who have inherited their fists.
Which I think is a really cool concept. I actually really love that.
Yeah, and so I like that.
Yeah.
I like that, and I you know, the guy with the beard, I just wasn't really impressed by him in the movie. He seems like just kind of a jerk.
Yeah.
And if you like the word swallow, You're going to love this movie because they say it about 5,000 times.
Swallow?
The swallow. Yeah.
Oh, the
flying swallow technique.
Got it. They just kept saying it.
Well, and then also there's a variation that's like the reverse swallow or something. It's some other swallow.
It's very X-rated.
Yeah, and they go, there's going to be 2 swallows in the ring. They literally say that. That's not even me trying to be funny. There's 2 swallows. You need to watch out for the second swallow.
It's like, thanks.
It's
like, I got it.
If you got into a fight at a party, the classic line, there's going to be 2 hits.
Yep.
Me hitting you. You hitting the ground.
Yeah.
But now there's going to be 2 swallows.
This is what is very X-rated. It's going to be 2 swallows going on.
2 swallows. Go on.
Go on.
I'm calling the police. So,
no.
The swallow is, and then Kimura demonstrates it on Ippo,
right?
My goat.
Mm-hmm.
And you would need to watch Kimura versus Mashiba in order. No, I'm just kidding.
To truly know why.
I'm gonna go against the grain.
Yeah,
not the rain.
Mm-hmm. I like going against the rain too.
Going against the rain. Vegeta standing in the rain. The rain just pouring on. Going against the grain. I'm gonna say watch Kimura versus Mashiba first. Yeah, actually, for no reason other than I'm sort of a what's the word? I'm trying to be like that guy who's he sees the popular opinion and then contrarian. Yeah. Yes. Mm-hmm. Hypothetically, what if I told you that? According to my calculations, it makes no difference which one is first. What do you think about that? And then my debate partner Bill and I would say, "Have you seen the tracksuit? Yeah, the intro is in Champion Road." By the way, is it messed up just for the fans or the listeners? Is it messed up to even say that? I don't believe Championship Road to be. If you miss it, you won't cry. Damn, that's how I feel. I think that's ultimately the big issue with the movie. I watched it once, and the first time I watched it, I'm like, "This is good. This is good. Yeah, it's good." And I really love the gags. Mm-hmm. The scene where Takamura gets pissed about Ippo not admitting that he loves Kumi. Mm-hmm. And then he gets a phone. Says, "Here's the phone." And he's like got a goofy face. Yeah. They do an arm wrestling contest to make Ippo confess his feelings for her. Mm-hmm. I think that's some of the best stuff in the show. Yeah, absolutely. Gag-wise. Yeah. That is huge. And everything after that is non-essential. Yeah, it's just not... I just don't... I think the more important film that we should be focusing on, and the fan or the listener should be focusing on, is Kimura versus Mashiba. Mm-hmm. That's special. So yeah, if I were to rate that movie, I'd give it like a 3 out of 5. Out of 5. I know I do that every fucking time. Every time. This is my little like. This is you checking the rules. Yeah, this is my quirk or my. My Twitch or whatever you want to call it. Out of 5. Out of 5, right? Out of 5. It's like so nervous. He's like just making sure. You didn't hate it, right? It's always out of 5, Mike. It's always out of 5. You've known me for a few years. Yeah. Have I ever rated? It's never been out of 10. Have I ever rated anything out of 10? Thank you. It's never been out of 10. Sorry. That's so funny. No, I love it. Out of 5. Yeah. It's just so nervous. I know I keep saying it's nervous. But. It's true. That's like one of my few things where I'm like, the few things of the like a creep of anxiety comes out. It's not real anxiety. It's like a fake, like it's almost OCD. Yeah, it's OCD. Thank you. Yeah, it's more OCD than it's got to be out of 10. It's out of 10. Yeah, it's got to be out of 10 because then I don't know how to react if it's out of 10. All right. Yes. Enough of this. So, Champion Road came out on April 18th, 2003, and. Okay, I'm a little off. Mashiba versus Kimura came out September 5th, 2000. Okay, nice. So it's a good amount of time. Not that bad. Yeah. May, June, July, August, September. 5 months. Got 5 months. Got 5 months to crank this out. Let's go. Let's do it. Let's crank this shit out. And crank they did. Thank you. Swallow they did. The fucking swallow. It's such a weird, weak.
Yeah, this is
metaphor.
the thing. It's not the animals. It's nothing to. Who cares?
Who cares? Meanwhile, the gazelle punch just rules.
Yeah, it's a cool. Yeah, it's a gazelle. It's like a hot. You know what I mean? It's.
I wish they would have expanded on like why he chose the phrase gazelle. Or sorry, take two. Oh, I can't talk.
What were you gonna say?
I can't talk at all for some reason.
What were you going to say about the gazelle? I
meant to say, I'll just redo it.
Yeah.
It was an overdub.
Oh, yes.
Over ADR. Additional dialogue recording. Here we go. I wish they would have expanded why he chose the animal swallow instead of another animal.
Oh, sure.
Like, and then they could go like, in nature, a gazelle would always beat a swallow. That's where you're wrong, Kamigawa. A swallow, especially the second swallow. You keep bringing up a second swallow. Let's go.
Right, what are you talking about?
You need two of them?
My left and right fists.
And then I wish they could have shown like Aoki and Kimura and Takamura like trying to figure out what the swallow technique was.
Yeah, they're just like up there in the crowd, like.
And then Aoki is like, "Here, I'll draw two eyes on my hand and then a little beak."
It's a good gag, actually, for them.
Thank you. Yeah, no, I think it would be great.
Yeah.
This is before they found because the coach told Kamigawa how to do it. Oh my god,
what were you gonna say? Kamigawa?
The coach told Kimura how to do it.
Oh, sure. Kimura.
Yeah.
Absolutely. But, so I think, to me, I believe Champion Road is not required viewing. Mm. That's hard to say. But, by the way, I don't mean that in a mean way, like, it's bad.
That's what makes this so hard to talk about, because, like, we're going to be saying stuff about New Challenger that sounds like we're just bashing it. But it's only because of the high peaks.
Thank you. I'm comparing it to itself.
Yeah.
And itself is it's above, like, majority things that I've seen.
Yeah.
So anything that it does that's, like, some, like, misstep or whatever, or, like, whatever, like, or a decision that I don't agree with, still sits above most of the other stuff that's out there.
Yeah. So I think we've established that we love the show. I'm thinking about getting a tattoo, and I'm going to read all the manga volumes.
I was going to say words or image?
For the tattoo?
Yeah.
Definitely an image.
Okay.
I would think it would be, like, gosh, I haven't thought about, like, what the design would be.
Okay.
If it were to be like maybe the fist of Kamigawa and that one guy.
And the one guy's arm.
I don't want to spoil nothing.
Yeah, and then one guy's arm. Yeah.
Maybe just a full drawing of Takamura.
or I was thinking the poster, which would be so detailed and insane.
Which one? Which poster?
The Kimura versus Mashiba poster.
Oh, the Kimura versus Mashiba poster. I mean, that's not really. That would be like a poster in my room.
Yeah. To get a tattoo of that would be probably wouldn't do it justice at all. I'd have
to be married first, because having that before being married.
Deal breaker. So by the way, a giant back tattoo of the fucking post.
Well, then, as I work out and my back muscles get stronger, the tattoo's going to be ruined.
Yeah, it's fucking warped. Yeah.
And I'd go to the... Dude, I saw this, I hope it's a fake story, but I saw this picture of a woman requesting a refund on wedding photos because she's getting a divorce.
A refund on wedding photos?
Yeah, because she's getting a divorce. Yeah. She's like, your photos were awesome, thank you, but unfortunately the wedding didn't last, so can I... And it was like 4 years later.
I was like, that's
it's got to be rage bait.
It's got to be.
But it's fun to imagine. So... Me working out so much that my back muscles ruin the tattoo, I go, can I get a refund on this? It doesn't look like the characters at all.
A little patch job, maybe?
His nose is now
it's not
huge.
It's either stretched or like, yeah, I guess if your back's not going to shrink.
He looks like a clown.
Yeah, he looks like a clown now.
Skier. Sorry, guys. I had to cut you off because the next segment is about Mashiba versus Kimura, which is an OVA, and it's my favorite. Well, I don't want to spoil anything, but let's just say it's in my letterboxed top 4. But I thought that was special enough of a conversation that it deserved to have its own spotlight. It's going to be the first Akira Slide Seal of Approval episode. That's an episode where we just gush about something that, while it's not current, it is a really special piece of media to us. So stay tuned for that in 2 weeks. But next week's episode is going to be a traditional potpourri mix of different media, music, etc. type of Akira Slide episode. You can follow us on Instagram and TikTok at dermot.mn, or subscribe to our YouTube channel. We're just getting started on YouTube. But until then, keep sliding.